Hey, Greta. Hey, Guava. Hey, Pink AF Consultant. That's cute. Hey, Rose Goddess. What's going on? Love Muffin. Y'all know what I need y'all to do. Tap the screen, share the live, tap the screen, share the live. Hey, Tay. Hey, Brazil Court. What's going on, love? Hey, Kelly. Okay. So, y'all give me housekeeping. Hey, at the cart beauty. You said, why did I ask this? Because that's what we're going over today. Okay, that's what we're going over today. Hey, Bree, what's going on, honey pie? I hope you're healing well. Hey, Jay. So, a lot of you guys yesterday we've been going through a specific training, and I've been breaking down like how you're able to make money without having to run ads. Okay, so we're going to resume that training tomorrow. Okay, we're going to get into this tonight, this right now today, a little community conversation. And then from the community conversation, we will go, we'll do some business tea later on tonight. Now, the reason that we're taking a break is because y'all need to catch up. So I told you, if you're on my email list, that I would send out an email to you and it would have a copy of the video from day one, because a lot of y'all missed it. And you do need to understand the first 3 steps in order to make any of this work. So if you're a member of the kingdom, okay, AKA you're signed up to get my emails, you're a part of the royal court, you should, if you don't have the email right now, you'll be getting it in a few minutes. I actually hit send on it, like literally right before I came into the chat. Okay. Now, if anybody wants to come up and sound off, they absolutely positively should. Okay. It says, the question is, why should you have to pay your boyfriend back? Okay. Why should you have to pay the boyfriend back? And at the end of this, she asks if she's wrong. Okay. So this is am I the a-hole today? So if everybody is ready, okay, y'all say ready, 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 ready in the chat. Y'all tap the screen. Y'all know I need y'all to share the live, honey, because your girl got a lot of restrictions and violations. So they trying to keep me a secret, okay? So I need y'all to help me get the word out. But we're gonna play the video, and I got questions. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have questions. Okay, I have questions. Hold on, let me put the box up. So anybody that wants to come up can come up. Let's see. Hello, hello. Oh no, it's not letting me open up the box for requests. Hold on, let me try again. Oh, somebody send a request up real fast just so I can see if I can force it to pop the box open. Because I'm trying and it's not letting me. Hey, Ria. Oh, it's giving me the dots. They like circling a long time. Hold on, y'all. Let me reset my sound before we get started so I can make sure I can hear the panelists when y'all come up. Give me a second. We said, ooh, baby. Okay. Hey, B Marquita. Hey, girl. Hey. Oh, side note, in case everyone doesn't know, we have a workshop coming up Saturday to help you put together your lunch schedule, because a lot of people struggle with lunches. They struggle with campaigns. Resume. Oh, okay. I can hear you now, Riri.
How you doing, Feminine? I just wanted to pop up here to make sure that you had sound and volume and everything that you needed.
I have sound and volume, but now I can't. You know, down at the bottom where you can push to accept. Somebody else send me a request real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I got you. I'll be
You'll be here to mod. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
You know who the number one mod is.
Is you, baby. Is you, baby.
You better let them know.
Is you, baby.
You better let them know. No, I got y'all. You want me to drop down?
No, I want you to stay up right now. You can't hear. Bree says she can't hear. Kelly said your box disappeared. So I think maybe only I can see you. Let's see. Hey, can y'all hear me?
Hey, if y'all can hear Ashley, put the crowns in the comments,
They said
please.
they said they can't hear you now, Riri. I can hear you now, but they said they can't hear you. So drop down, Riri, and then come back and let's see if the people can hear you when you drop and come back.
Okay.
Okay, y'all, we're gonna have Riri drop, and then I need a few of y'all just send me a request so we can see if we can get the boxes open and if we can hear y'all. You can say you can hear everything in YouTube. Yeah, like that. Well, see, I think you can hear everything in YouTube because you can hear like the back of my house over here on TikTok. So I think y'all can all hear like everything, but in the chat on TikTok, they can't hear, they can't pick up Riri. Hey, at the car beauty.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Okay, chat on TikTok. Can y'all hear Add the Cart Beauty?
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Yeah, okay, now I can hear you, Riri.
But see, sometimes TikTok will do that, like the other panelists can hear each other, but the chat can't hear one another. Can y'all hear Riri?
Oh, okay. TikTok. See, we ought to have this conversation every time I come up here. I am going to be great, regardless if you think I shouldn't be. That is just in the cards for me. I am sorry. Positive vibes and energy are only flowing through these streets.
Factual.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Everybody else, can y'all hear? Can y'all give me a one in the chat if y'all can hear Riri and Add the Cart Beauty? Add the Cart Beauty and Riri, y'all say something.
Hey, Kelly. Hey, Rose. Hey, Jay. Kingdom. How y'all doing this lovely day? What's up?
Okay, we got it figured out. Look at the Lord. Now look, ladies, why I got y'all up here. I need to know. Okay, I need to get the chat. Okay, I need this from everybody. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you watching me at, okay? Should you have to pay your boyfriend back? Okay, if your boyfriend lets you borrow money, we don't care about the reason. If your boyfriend lets you borrow money, should you have to pay your boyfriend back? If you, yes, okay, thank you, Thea. If you feel like you should have to pay your boyfriend back, give me the number one. If you feel like you should not have to pay your boyfriend back, give me the number two. Number one, if you feel like you should have to pay him back. Number two, if you do not feel like you should have to pay him back. One for a payback, two for a no. One for a payback, two for a no. One for a payback, two for a no. Ooh, I see a few ones, but I'm seeing a lot of twos. 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 Oh gosh. Okay, y'all ready for the story time today? And I do. You said, and I definitely want to know for those of you that are giving a one or those of you that are giving a two. I want to know why. Okay, I want to know why. You said not if he just gives it. I said pay it back. So that means the borrow. Okay, should you have to pay your boyfriend back? Okay, so let's see. And she wants to know if she wrong. So we're gonna listen to the story. All right, y'all ready? Everybody ready? If y'all ready, let me know. Drop the crowns in the chat if y'all are ready. Nasia said depends on what you're borrowing for and about and how about don't say borrow if you're not paying back.
I would say she has to pay it back if she's going off of what the title is about. You asked to borrow it, so it's not about who he is to you. It's about, well, for me, and like I said, and it's just, I'm just putting it out there. If you ask to borrow something, pay it back. It don't matter who it is to you.
All right.
It's just me.
Add to car beauty, you gotta pay your boyfriend back or no?
Whoops, my bad. I had a lot of sound going on back here in my background. Like, yeah, I agree with Riri. It depends on context. Like, okay, my man, he don't pay me back, and I don't pay him back. No, it just depends on if you gonna use it for something else. If you had plans to use it and you want it back, it just depends about context. Like, if you say, I said to him, like, hey, give me $100. You know, he give it to me. He know he ain't getting it back. So it just depends about context.
Okay. So let's listen to the story. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Let's go. Okay, before you tell me that,
y'all tap the screen, share the live, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get to 10K real quick, guys. I know it's a strong but mighty small pour in here. Let's tap the screen. Let's tap the screen so we can get to that For You page for the kingdom. Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
Let's go.
everything that is wrong with women these days, listen to what I'm really saying. Listen all the way through. So I, a couple months ago, had lost my job, and I needed to borrow money from someone until I was able to pay them back. So I borrowed money from my man, right? At the time, my man at the time, and I kind of felt weird about that because he knew I really needed it and he never offered to give it to me. He waited until I asked, and then I basically had to beg because he was, asking all these questions. I don't usually give money out, this whole thing, and it already gave me the ick. Like literally when he said I don't usually give money out, I was just like okay, and I was just not finna talk to him. Like I was gonna stop talking to him because after that it's like if I know you can help me, and if you don't want to, then we're having a little bit of a disconnect, and I'm gonna find a man who will. Like it's not that deep. I was gonna get mad. I was just gonna stop talking to him. But then he decided he was gonna give me the money. Right? No, he wasn't gonna give it to me. He was gonna loan it to me. Whatever, cool. I said I would pay him back at the end of the month. The end of the month has come. I've been thinking about it. I have a lot of things I need to get done, and I'm still really behind in bills because of the fact that I lost my job. So I'm trying to play catch up, and I finally got a little bit of money, right? So he texted me this morning, and he's like, "Oh, has your check still not cleared yet? I haven't received the money," which already is a sassy way of asking for the money back. But granted, he shouldn't have had to ask. I should have just sent it to him. So, anyways, I sent him the money, but the problem is right now, I kind of have the ick and I don't want to talk to him anymore. Am I everything that's wrong with women these days? Because he did nothing wrong and he was actually very helpful. It was a lot of money and a lot of men wouldn't have even, loaned it to me, and he did, and I'm really grateful for that. And I think he's a great person. He's going to make whoever he ends up with very happy. I just personally feel like he's not I don't think that this is going to work. Not that I was expecting him. I don't know what I was expecting. But for him to text me, I don't know. It just was just the fact of me giving him the money back is weird because, I'm still kind of struggling and I'm still kind of trying to get back on my feet after being, laid off. And so I could really use that. And he knows I could really use that. And he still asked for it back, which he's well within his rights because we did have a deal and he upheld his side of the bargain, and I upheld my, and I did what I said. I gave it to him immediately. No, ifs, ands, or buts. But I'm gonna stop talking to him now, and because I just can't even look at him the same anymore. I feel I don't know. I can't explain it, but I kind of have the ick. Is it wrong? Is it because I grew up with men in my life who were constantly doing whatever I asked them to do? Is it because I grew up spoiled? I don't know. Or is it just because I feel like my husband wouldn't have asked for the money back? I think that's where the disconnect is. I'm looking to get married, and anybody who doesn't come off as someone who might be my husband, I kind of just am you're cool, but we're probably not going to go far. So I think him asking for the money back made me realize this is not as serious as I thought it was. And so I'm kind of just gonna I'm gonna stop talking to him. But I want y'all to let me know if I'm wrong. Regardless of what y'all think, I'm still gonna stop talking to him. But I want y'all to let me know, or somebody, because I don't understand really why.
All right. All right, everybody. Now that we have heard the story, okay, I need a quick survey. Ones, if you feel like she should have paid him back, okay, and ones, if you feel like you should have paid him back. Twos, if you do not feel like she should have paid him back. One, if she should have paid him back. Two, if she should not. And by the way, y'all, this is an open panel. So YouTube, Facebook, I dropped a link. I got a pin. If you want to come and sound off, Instagram, y'all know, send a little request. Okay. TikTok, you can send a request. All right. So it looks like the majority says should have paid her back. Now, one's if she should continue dating him, or two, if she should stop dating him. One's if she should continue dating him. Two, if she should not. Okay. One, to continue dating. Two, to not. And for somebody, I do want to hear different opinions. For all the people that said she should keep dating the guy, I need somebody to come up. The majority of the women are giving twos that she should stop dating. I want whoever feels like she should stop dating him. I would like to see you come up as well. Okay, that's that's
She
what I
done
want to
set
see.
herself up for failure. Now she knew better. You done told this man you was gonna give it. You should never say you was gonna give it back. You know, was y'all living together? How long have y'all been dating? If it was just somebody you were talking to, yeah, I'm gonna want that money back too because we just getting to know each other.
Hey, PM,
Hey,
what's up,
so
girl?
I think there are a few things to unpack based on what she said. One, I do believe she should have paid him back, if for no other reason. That was the agreement she entered into with him.
Mm-hmm.
She said borrow, and she said she would give it back at the end of the month. So, on that part, I think she should have given it back. I don't think she should stay with him, and I say that based on what she said because she is used to, according to her, men in her life who spoil her or do things for her and so forth. So if that's the standard you have for yourself, he's obviously showing you that he doesn't live up to the standard that you have for yourself. So it's best to move on.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. 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 Hey, relationship gumbo. If you got time to come up, I would love to hear you come up, especially like from a male perspective and an actual relationship. Okay, therapist. So most of the ladies in here, y'all are gonna be mad at me. I feel like she's dead ass wrong all the way around. I feel like she is dead ass wrong all the way around. And a lot of times women are focused on what they should get from men. And I don't think a lot of times women are focused on what they should be giving to a man. She's saying that she's looking for a husband. Well, to be honest, her behavior isn't wifely. I think she is dead wrong all the way. First of all, first thing that I picked up on when she was going through this story, why are you even asking your boyfriend for the money? Especially as she continues on through the story and she talks about how she's used to being around all these men that care and do everything, for her and blah 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 blah. Why did you not call your parents? Why didn't you call your papa, your uncle, your auntie? Why didn't you call any of your male cousins? Where are your friends at? So first thing first, I already smell the poop. Okay. Again, I know a lot of y'all not gonna agree with me. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to. But the first thing first, baby. What? Why you didn't call your daddy then? Because all the time that I've dated, and I know some of you guys are not gonna believe this, I have never asked a man for anything. I have a lot of men that have offered things for me. I have a lot of men that are offered, been generous with like gifts or want to take me on trips or, just shoot me some money because they want me to get my nails done or massage or something like that. Right. But I have never, ever, 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 ever asked a man that I was dating for anything. If I needed something or if I was short, I went to my mama and I went to my daddy. I did not go to my boyfriend. And I had a very, very serious boyfriend in college. Okay. Like he proposed to me, serious, hung out with me, went to church with me. You know what I'm saying? Like we did a lot of things together. And I literally never even asked him for anything. I went to my parents. Number two, she said borrow. Number three, she said she had to reach out to him and she knew dang well she owed this boy this money. Y'all are not picking up that this man already made an exception for her. He said, I normally don't let people borrow money. Okay. She said she need to pay rent. She behind on bills and whatever else. She did not say the amount, but she says it's a significant amount. Okay. So realistically, we don't know if that young man had to go into his savings to let her borrow that. We don't know what else he had, stacked up for the money. We have no idea. And honestly, she probably, if she would have reached out to him first, she knew before she got to the end of the month that she really, you know what I'm saying, was going to be tight paying him back. So she realistically, in my opinion, could have called or asked him 5 or 6 days before the end of the month and said, hey, I'm going to have the money to pay you back everything, but my bills are still tight. Is it okay if I just give you half? Or is it okay if I give you a third of it and that'll help me to continue to get cut up or get back on track? So I don't really hear any consideration from her. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I feel some type of way because people borrow a lot of money from me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm the stable friend, the rich friend. People come to me and they ask. I really feel like she had, exactly, Lady D, she didn't have no intentions of paying it back. She was hoping that he was just gonna let it slide. And she said, and she got her own place she paying for, so they don't live together. So this relationship is not that level of seriousness. And she has not told us how long they've been dating or how long they've been together. But literally, she's like, I had to beg for the money. People be real dramatic. People will sit here and feel real entitled to your money and to your stuff. And like I said, maybe I feel some type of way about it because people come to me and ask me for money, and then we'll get an attitude when you ask for your money back that they borrow from you. It's just a little funky $1,000. It's just a little funky this and that, baby. It wasn't a little nothing. And if it's so little, give it back. Run me my fucking coins, okay? But I feel like realistically, if she would have hit him up and asked him for a little bit more time, say, hey, I'm gonna pay you a third back, or is it okay if I give you half? Like, I got it all and I can give it all back to you, but I'm still in a bind. I still haven't found a new job, or I still haven't, caught up with everything. Can I give you half and then maybe give you another half, at the end of the next month or something like that? The fact that he got to hit you up and now you calling him sassy because he's requesting the money that you agreed to pay back, to me is effing BS. This is just me. And I know most women don't agree with me. Even from her comment thread, there's tons of women talking about, you need to leave him, you need to leave him, you need to run, he should be generous, XYZ, elemental P. I just feel very differently. I feel like she's very entitled. I feel like her attitude is out of control. And I feel like a lot of times women give women poor advice when it comes to relationships. She said she gonna do what she gonna do anyway, but she wanted to know if she was wrong. And I know a bunch of girls, y'all like, leave them, leave them, leave them, leave them, and y'all can do that. I personally don't think she says that this guy is a great guy. She says he didn't do anything wrong.
The reason I say she should leave, not necessarily. So I agree with everything you said. And that's what I was saying in the chat earlier. Like, there are multiple things to unpack in what she shared, and you unpack like a lot of it. But if she has that level of expectation from somebody that she's entering into a relationship with, to me, that doesn't sound like a mutual. That just is, for me, it sounds like a one-sided relationship. So, like, to your point with her asking and then feeling some type of way about him, checking to see if she's paying him back. And it's like, well, number one, he didn't offer it to you. So, I mean, I came in late, so I didn't hear the earlier part.
Okay, I can replay it. I ain't got no issue with that.
Where he doesn't lend money. And I totally get that. If you know that about a person, and you say the things that you said, that you're used to being spoiled or what have you, then you should have went to one of those other avenues to get spoiled, where you wouldn't have to pay it back, because you know who he is. He's already been transparent and told you who he is and what he does. So, I mean, to me, she's wrong on all accounts. I think, honestly, her separating from him, he is a good guy, and her separating from him will probably benefit him more than it benefits her.
Let's see. Miss CFO says, I think she should leave him because it's going to be hard. It's going to be, I think that's going, I know how autocorrect goes, but it's going to be hard for her to continue if she ever follows him as a leader. Why would it be hard for her? Because of her mindset? Just curious. Like, I'm asking a genuine question. I'm very open to hear different perspectives, and like this, you know what else? I'm gonna tell you, like, this may be taking a little personal when she was like, I basically had to beg because he was asking me questions. If you're asking me to fund your lifestyle, you're asking me to borrow hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or whatever it is, I'm entitled to ask questions. I'm entitled to ask questions before this money leaves my bank account, before this money leaves my pocket. And it doesn't mean that it's a beg. And again, why are you going to him instead of your parents? If you have all these men around you that do and give whatever it is, why did you even go to him? I can see if it was like $20 or something, I'd be like, dude is tripping. You know what I'm saying? But this is thousands of dollars, okay? Like, this is a significant amount of money. And what stands out to me is the fact that she knew that ideally she did not want to pay it back or didn't want to pay it back at that time frame, and she didn't say anything. You know, you owe this man this money. Why he got to reach out to you, try, you know what I'm saying, chasing you for it. And ladies, I want y'all to think about if the shoe was on the other foot. Instead, if this was not a woman, if this was a man telling this story, and he was talking about, you know, I basically had to beg my girl. I basically had to beg her to let her borrow the money. She was asking me questions about what I was gonna do with it, how I was gonna get paid back, blah 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 blah. And she said she normally don't lend people money, but she still let me get it, baby. Like, let's keep it a buck. None of y'all would be in here, like, y'all would be telling him how wrong he is. Y'all would be telling him that he needs to be more responsible. Y'all would be telling him he need to hit a side hustle. Y'all would be asking him where's his savings account at. And let's be real, like, if you're gonna be out here adulting, it's not some random man's responsibility to take care of you. That's just my 2 cents. That's just my 2 cents. And like I said, I know a lot of y'all do not agree with me, and that's fine. I think it's great that you guys don't agree with me, but I'm just being honest. Like, if this was a boy, okay, if this was a man instead of this woman that's right here speaking, everybody literally would like, nobody would have any sympathy for them. Even if he was like, I lost my job, I got behind on stuff. Hey, Chicago John, thank you for my lenses. Nobody, everybody was like, bro, you need to figure that out. That's on you. It's not for her to bail you out. You sound like a user. You sound like a leech. Blah 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 blah. So why is it that there's so many of you ladies that feel like y'all are entitled to a man's money as far as him taking care of you in that aspect? Because they clearly live in two different households. And she was like, he didn't offer to help. Maybe he didn't offer to help because he knew he knew he really didn't have it, but she borrowed it.
Or maybe he knew there was a high probability he wouldn't see that money.
Real estate diva says if he knew, real estate diva says also if he knew she was down and didn't offer it, it shows what level their relationship is on. Factual. Let's see, she was down bad and needed help. Ain't no borrowing when it comes to a relationship. Child, beg to differ. This why y'all be out here with bad credit, heartburns and headaches and hair falling out, and be talking about some Negro took advantage of you. Use an MF and lie. But like I said, like, and I get that. That's for you. Okay, that's for you. Like I said, maybe I feel differently about it because I'm a woman who has acquired quite a bit in her life, and I am about my business. Do you understand? And if you're borrowing, oh no, baby, you're finna sign this promissory. It's finna be notarized. It's going to be typed up. You're gonna have a repayment for me. I may or may not put some interest on it. Yes. Yes, and I don't care. And everybody run their relationships in different ways, but I am telling you. And like I said, maybe I feel differently about it because I'm typically seen as like the stable person. I'm like everybody's, rich cousin, rich auntie, rich friend, or whatever. And so I want to make sure, there are oftentimes people come around me as opportunists trying to take from me or use me. And I'm telling you, if people feel like you got money, everybody got a sob story. Y'all would be amazed if I started putting up the screenshots that random strangers that have never talked to me before, because they find out I do giveaways or they find out that I donate stuff, with all kinds of stories inside of my DMs and inboxes about, they car broke down, they lost their job, they hurt their hip, they baby ran out of formula, I'm living in a hotel, and if you could just send me a couple $100, if you could just send me a few $1,000s, I need help with my tuition. So these are people that do not know me, that have the audacity to open up their mouths and feel like they're entitled to my funds, to my money, to my resources. There are people that know me. There are people that will try to come through other people to get to know me. There are people that want to be my friend because they've seen that I've taken my friends on trips or put $40,000 or $50,000 down for them to get a house or purchase them $200,000 and $300,000 cars. But I did that for those people because those people are down for me. They love me. They never asked me for a thing and would do everything for me. So when I got on, I was going to make sure that I put them on, right? Now you got all these other people that want to be in the friend brigade. No, you're not my friend. You're just here to see what you can get. So that's why I said I feel like I probably see it very differently than a lot of women as well. Like y'all, like ain't no borrowing in a relationship. You say if they were engaged, I probably would feel totally different about this. I probably would feel totally different about this if they were engaged or like she was like they were living together. I would probably feel so different about this situation. She does not say how long they've been together. She does not tell the amount that this man let her borrow, but she says it was a significant amount. She says that she borrowed it and those are the terms that she agreed to pay it back at the end of the month. So clearly they're not that deep in their relationship like that. That's just how I feel. Like I said, that's just how I feel.
Agreed.
That's just how I feel.
Nope, I agree. Y'all not living. I agree with you when you're right. I agree with you when
Y'all talking about ain't no borrowing in relationships. I want y'all to think about how many women we hear from on a regular basis that's talking about how their credit is ruined because they co-sign for a house or co-sign for a car or that they help some man get, you know what I'm saying, a job or a gig or something like that. And then he got it and then he dumped them, or how they help some dude get caught up on his back child support and all this other kind of crazy foolishness or whatever. They was in a relationship and they probably had the same mindset, ain't no borrowing in a relationship. And I get it. Everybody lives how they want to live. Okay, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. You are not my husband. I am not your wife. Okay, I'm not here to support you or cover you in that way. And I'll be honest, I have never had a man that I was dating ask me for money. I've never had a man that I was dating ask me for money.
Say that again for the people in the back.
I've never had a man that I was dating ask me for money. And I've never asked a man I was dating for money either. I feel like if she wanted to be in a situation where she didn't have to pay it back or someone was going to be more lenient with her paying back, that's where you go to your parents. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, feminine? Her parents already knew they weren't gonna let her borrow it. That's probably what it is. No shade to her. But shout out to her for even share the story with us.
Thank you for the goggles. Live with purpose. Okay.
And he probably knew too, because she said I had to ask him. So that means that y'all was having phone conversations or texts, and he was like, "Oh, I lost my job," and he was like,
"Right,
do right then and there."
Lady D said, "You're right." She made it sound like he wasn't trying to pour into her, and that's why I said leave. However, no, she's not entitled to anything and shouldn't operate like that. Jay said she burned other bridges. To me, it seems like she burned some other bridges too. You said she probably already borrowed from the family. Yeah, something is up. I don't even know why your boyfriend would be the first person that you would think about in this instance. Because, like I said, it doesn't seem like they're super serious. That I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but she doesn't say. We gonna play it again for everybody just got here.
So I a couple months ago, had lost my job, and I needed to borrow money from someone until I was able to pay them back. So I borrowed money from my man, right? At the time, my man at the time, and I kind of felt weird about that because he knew I really needed it and he never offered to give it to me. He waited until I asked, and then I basically had to beg because he was, asking all these questions. I don't usually give money out, this whole thing, and it already gave me the ick. Like literally when he said I don't usually give money out, I was just like, okay, and I was just not finna talk to him.
Y'all didn't catch that? She said it gave me the ick. She said as soon as he was like, I normally don't give money out, I was like, okay, and I was finna not talk to him. She doesn't say that this guy doesn't take her on dates. She doesn't say that this guy talks crazy to her. She doesn't say that this guy is inconsistent. She doesn't say, you know what I'm saying, like he looked like he got beat with an ugly stick. She does not say any of that. She literally says because he's asking questions, which he should be. If you're asking him to borrow thousands of dollars, he should be. Y'all know what? If you go to the bank and you go get a loan from the bank, doesn't the bank ask you questions?
I was just gonna say that.
Don't the bank ask you questions when you go to the bank to get a loan? Don't they ask you questions? Y'all that went and got on the surgery table and you use care credit, didn't they ask you questions before they gave you their money?
Look, they sure did, and they had to sign paperwork and they had to prove themselves in black. Let me see. What's your income for the month? Documentation. I need your W-2, your pay stubs. What is your credit score like? Is it poor? Is it terrible? No, that's real talk though.
So basically, she's saying, because, okay, I can't get what I want from you because you're not willing to bail me out of my mess. I'm going to discard you and stop talking to you. Like, that's what she said. Y'all heard it. Y'all want me to rewind it?
No, that's what it sounds like. It just sounds like she's in it for what she can get.
That's what it sounds like to me. You said she seems like she really needed the money because she lost her job. I don't think she was trying to take advantage. You ain't sleeping with the bank. Baby, you shouldn't be dumb enough to sleep with a man that wouldn't offer to help you. You shouldn't be dumb enough to sleep with a man that's not financial stable. And you shouldn't be dumb enough to be out here as an adult woman throwing around your kitty cat, but you're not taking care of your finances. How about that? How about that? Why is you as a woman, if we want to keep it a buck, your body is a resource. So you as a woman, why? Because she said she didn't say she was sleeping with this man. You said you was like she ain't sleeping with the bank. We don't know if they're having a physical relationship or not. We don't know this. Okay, we don't know. We don't know. She could be out here being celibate. We have no idea if they're having a physical relationship. But if you are having a physical relationship, you as a woman, why would you be dumb enough to be being intimate with a man and you don't know if he would be down for you in your time of need? That's a mismanagement of your resources as a woman. And clearly, while you out here, my man, you need to be worried about your finances, my savings. Like that's just me, because again, their boyfriend and their girlfriend. And I get, like, I just, the way that some of y'all think, though, we gonna rewind it so you can hear what she said. Hear it out of her mouth.
So I borrowed money from my man, right? My man at the time. And I kind of felt weird about that because he knew I really needed it and he never offered to give it to me. He waited until I asked. And then I basically had to beg because he was, asking all these questions. I don't usually give money out, this whole thing. And it already gave me the ick. Like, literally, when he said, like, I don't usually give money out, I was just like, okay. And I was just not finna talk to him. Like, I was gonna stop talking to him because after that, it's like, if, I know.
She said when he stated, I normally don't give money out, that was already an ick, and I was going to stop talking to him.
Which sounds like, okay, the only way this relationship works is if you give me money.
Say that again, Pen, for the people in the back.
That's what it sounds like.
All of y'all out here like she fell on a hard time again. You're not finna tell me as an adult woman that your boyfriend is the longest and most solid relationship you have. You're not finna convince me of that. Like I said, where are your parents? Where are your friends? Where's your papa? Where's your uncle? Where's your cousins? Where's your homies? Why is, like, right? Like, for real. Y'all like wrong boyfriend. Y'all feel like we don't know how long they've been dating. We have no idea how long. She doesn't say we've been together for 2 years, 3 years, or whatever, but we do know that they don't live together, that they live in separate households. We do know that. We do know that.
It was 2 weeks, 3 days, 4 hours, 22 minutes, and 14 seconds. 15.
I'm just saying, the fact that she instantaneously went into, well, they gave me the ick when he was like, I normally don't lend money. Now, for me, in my mindset, if someone's like, I normally don't let people borrow money, I normally don't lend money out, and they make an exception for me, that lets me know, like, okay, I have a special place, or I'm getting special leeway, or this person is making an exception for me. So I see it totally different than all of the ladies that are in here saying, he's the wrong boyfriend, the wrong guy, XYZ, element of P. Y'all do realize that 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now, right? 78%. Y'all do realize that there's under 15% of Americans right now that have $10,000 liquid cash in their bank accounts, right?
And honestly, we don't know what his circumstances are. We don't know if he's caregiving for somebody. We don't know what his situation looks like.
Okay. Somebody said, Jay said it's hard out here as it relates to her. What if that was all he had in his savings? Exactly. Exactly. We don't know, Pen. Like you said, we don't know. We don't know what this man's financial situation is. He may not be out here like balling out of control. So the fact that you were ready to write a man off because you had to ask, and this is your boyfriend. She does not say this is her fiance. They don't live together in the same house. She does not say if they're involved in, a physical relationship or not. She doesn't say that. She's just like her man. This is her boyfriend. You said if a man asked the same things, lady would call him broke. Exactly. That's the same thing I said, Galactus. They would call that man broke. They would talk about that man up and down. I'm going to play it for y'all one more time for the people in the back. Y'all ready? Listen now. Listen good.
And I kind of felt weird about that because he knew I really needed it and he never offered to give it to me. He waited until I asked, and then I basically had to beg because he was, asking all these questions. I don't usually give money out, this whole thing, and it already gave me the ick. Like literally when he said like I don't usually give money out, I was just like okay, and I was just not finna talk to him. Like I was gonna stop talking to him because after that it's like if I know you can help me, and if you don't want to, then we're having a little bit of a disconnect, and I'm gonna find a man who will. Like it's not that deep. I was gonna get mad. I was just gonna stop talking to him.
She instantly said, "You're not gonna do it, so I'm gonna find a man who will." Why she's sitting here exactly one and only Jay with her hair and her nails done. You behind on your bills and you struggling, but your hair and your nails done. I'm gonna be easy on the nails. Maybe she like me and she do her nails herself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she did her hair herself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's like me. She's a DIY girly. Okay, y'all know I do my own nails and maybe she did them herself. I don't know.
But here's the thing: she's counting his pockets. Like, how do you know? Like, just because somebody has it doesn't mean they have it for you.
Factual.
Y'all tap the screen, share the live, and just like Penn said, he might just be disciplined enough or have enough for him to where he comfortable enough, and she see that from him and like, oh, okay, well, I need to set in the other baby.
Hey, y'all, pray shop.
And then he was like, I don't be letting nobody.
Y'all saying it's a lot to be considered, baby. Y'all be out here making so many excuses for women, but I know a lot of y'all make excuses for women. I'm gonna say it, and if you don't like it, that's fine. That's fine, because I'm sure you say things about me that I don't like either. Okay, but the truth be told, a lot of y'all be down with this foolishness. A lot of y'all be co-signing this bullshit because y'all on bullshit.
Y'all get off that bullshit.
Yeah, no, like for real. It's a lot of people that are users. It's a lot of people that are entitled. It's a lot of people that will discard you quickly. It's a lot of people that are here not to see how they can grow together, not to see how they can be developed with another person. They're not looking for character. It's literally a transactional. She literally immediately says when he's basically asking her, she's asking him for thousands of dollars. Okay. It's a significant amount of money, according to her, right? She's like, she got to pay rent and all this stuff. So you're asking someone for a large sum of money. And because he says, I normally don't let people borrow money, I was already done with him. I was ready to stop talking to him. Okay, I'll just trade you in for somebody else that will. Not saying like this guy's making an exception for me. And now you feel like you basically have to beg for the money because he's asking you about your ability to repay. Guess what? Anybody with common sense, if we let people borrow money, we want to know that they have the ability to repay it. You borrowed it. It wasn't a gift. And I'm telling y'all this, something is very wrong if you fell on hard times and you couldn't go to your parents, you couldn't go to an auntie, you couldn't go to a friend, you couldn't go to an uncle's. And where is your savings at?
I was just thinking that. You live by yourself. You don't know what
you said. There's genuine people out here that are falling on hard times. I agree. I've fallen on hard times too, and I still never ask a man for money. If he wasn't Chief Keef, if he wasn't my daddy, if it wasn't my dad, if it didn't come from the bank of Chief Keef, no, baby. I've told y'all, everybody knows about my hard times. Everybody knows I started my business with $125 and a laptop and barely had 2 nickels to scrub together. I've told y'all about times I had to go to my parents' house and go shopping in the refrigerator so I could have groceries. Okay. I told y'all about the time I had a roommate and I didn't know that she wasn't paying her half of the rent and I was paying mine. And I came home one day after blue and had an eviction notice on my door and had to come up with 4 months worth of rent in 3 days or less. I was going to be out there on the street. Like, everybody goes through hard times, but it's the way that you handle it. And I'm gonna be honest, I do think it's like a lot of times women get rid of good men for stupid reasons. And I'm not saying you're stupid. Okay, I'm not saying any of you guys that feels like that she should get rid of him, because it's more of y'all than there are of me that are like in the comments like run, get rid of him. He's not generous. He's stingy. Blah 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 blah. No, you're irresponsible, ma'am. You're irresponsible. Where's your savings account? And what type of bridges have you burned in your other relationships that there aren't other people that you've been around with longer that would have been able to assist you or help you out? I'm just telling y'all something is off. She is the one in the video that talks about how she grew up around all these men that would do whatever and say whatever and were very supportive and XYZ and elemental P. So if you have this many supportive men, like my daddy, my uncles, they're supportive. I literally can go to them for anything. So yes, when I was dating, when I say I've never asked a man to pay a bill for me, I've never asked a man to pay a bill for me. When men do things for me, they do things for me because they want to. Because they want to. That's why they do it for me. Not because I'm out here saying if he don't pay this bill, if he don't do XYZ, I'm gonna get rid of him. Like that's what she said. This is before she said the minute he said, I normally don't let people borrow money, I got the ick. And I was like, that's fine. I'll get rid of you and get somebody else that will. That's what she said. I said, that's what she said.
Right. She was like, it's not a big deal. Okay, but you on the internet talking about it. So obviously.
Right. It's not that big. It's not a big deal, but you going to him to get his money. Like, I'm just saying, like for women, some of us have some really messed up ways. Well, a lot of us have some really messed up ways and some messed up train of thoughts. The first thing that will pop in my head if a guy says, I normally don't let people, if I'm on a hard time and he says, I normally don't let people borrow money, but I'm gonna let you borrow. I'm gonna let you borrow it. You see what I'm saying? Okay, you're making an exception for me. And again, we don't even know this man's financial situation. Like, is he just like filthy rich and he blows his nose on money? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why she feels this way, but she doesn't say that. So I'm just assuming. Okay, I don't know, but I'm just assuming that the guy she's dating is a regular guy that probably earns a regular salary.
But even if he is, right, even if he is sitting on money or whatever, right, like you said, to your point earlier, that doesn't entitle you to his money.
Factual.
Absolutely, Ben. Absolutely. I'm gonna need y'all to tap the screen. Let's get to 20K likes, y'all. This is a good conversation that is need to be had. If you have not done your heart me for today, if you see the lovely name up there, the Feeling Millionaire, and it is a orange heart with a plus sign in it, that means you haven't joined the kingdom. It just costs you one penny. Y'all come on to be part of the kingdom, baby. This is where it's at. And the rest of y'all tap the screen and share the live. Share the live.
Thank you.
I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Welcome to the kingdom, y'all. Back to you.
And you said it's weird for people to acknowledge that it's hard out here, but men are still supposed to give and give and give. It ain't hard for them. Right. Right. It's hard for everybody. It's hard for everybody. And at the end of the day, he let her borrow the money. He didn't tell her no. He let her borrow it. You said to me, if you're in a relationship and someone and you see they need help and you don't offer, to me, that's a problem. Could be. It could be. But this is my question. Like, why do you feel that other person is supposed to? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just on the cool. Like, I'm just asking. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Why do you feel that other person is supposed to? You as a woman, if your man lost his job and you saw he was falling behind on his bills, and you don't say, babe, I can let you borrow 5 or 6 bands until you get back on your feet, should he get rid of you?
And I think it just depends on that hustler mentality too. I'm in a whole relationship, kids and all, and if I need help with money, I'm going out and I'm going to make some money. I'm going to make some sales, do a little DoorDash, a little Uber Eats or something, okay, before I ask him. Even though I know he got me, it's just, that's the way I was raised.
Like, I was like, no, I'm asking, right. That's the other thing, Jay. We don't know why she lost her job. Did she lose her job because she's been consistently like irresponsible? Did she lose her job because the company got bought out? You know what I'm saying? Like, did she lost her job because you showing up late every day? Did you lose your job because you're combative and you're getting into it with a lot of people? Did you lose your job because your productivity was low? Did you lose your job because the company is downsizing? You know what I'm saying? Or they had a split? She doesn't say why she lost her job, because I'm gonna tell you this, like me as a person, if I see that you're out here being irresponsible and that's the way you lost your job, baby, no. That's just me. No, no, I'm not helping you. I am not. I am not. You said I've done that. I've held my man down and him did the same. That I'm on hard times. Is your man your husband, or this was like just a boyfriend that you were dating? Because remember, this is not her fiance and this is not her husband that she's talking about. This is a boyfriend, and we don't know how. She doesn't tell us how long she's been with this boyfriend, but we know from what she explains to us that they live in two different households. And I'm just telling y'all the truth. Like, if a man that I'm dating come and ask me for money, first of all, I'm appalled that you asked me for money. For what? For what? For what? What are you asking me for? Why are you asking me for money? You said I'm with him now. He's not my husband yet. How long have y'all been together? I'm not, baby. I'm not doing it. Mm-mm. And I'm not offering either. Mm-mm.
You
Nope.
say, Ashley, and I need to know what you've been out here doing in these streets for
I
you
need to
just to
I
come
need
ask
to
me
I
for
need
some
to
money.
know. I
That's
need
real.
to know. I
That's real
do.
talk.
I do.
So
I need to know. And I just feel like it's wild to me since 2014. So we in 2024. You've been with a man for 10 years and it's not your husband yet. And you let him borrow money.
no, ma'am. That's out of
No,
order.
that what she said. I'm just going off of what she said. I'm just going off of what she said.
Mm-hmm.
You said boyfriend, girlfriend asking for money is tricky. There really are no rights there, to be honest. I'm not saying, let me be clear. I'm not saying that she was wrong whenever she asked, but I do find it weird that she asked her boyfriend and that she didn't ask her parents or her uncles according to what she's saying. Okay, she's the one that says how she has all these wonderful men in her life and they do this and that and blah 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 blah. So I don't know why she wouldn't have went to her uncle, her daddy, her papa, or one of them. That's the first thing first. Okay. Then whenever you sit here and you say the when she said out of her she said out of the storyteller said it, she said, hey, when he said I normally don't let people borrow money, she said I already had the ick. I already was like, that's fine, I'm gonna stop talking to him. I'll just find somebody else that'll give it to me. What type of game are you on? Why is the first thought in your head not like, I need to get myself together? I need to stack up my savings. I need to be more financially secure or responsible. No, I'm going to find somebody else that'll give it to me. Y'all don't think that was a weird thought, a weird thing to say? And like I said, maybe I feel differently about this because I am a person who is financially stable. I'm financially secure. I work really, really hard to be able to take care of things. And I know for a fact people will find a way to spend your money. they people will drag sick puppies to you and be like, this is such and such that I know and they need something XYZ. So maybe that's why I feel different about it. But the fact of the matter is he made an exception and he let her borrow it. And she was the one that says, like, basically he had to reach out to her to get his repayment. She didn't say like, hey babe, here's the money that I borrowed or here's a payment on it. Like, he had to reach out to her and say, and she's like, I'm just gonna stop dating him. And there's a lot of women that are in here going hard. They're like she should get rid of him. She doesn't say how long they've been together. It's Tashina. It's a mystery. We don't know. We don't know. You said it was off balance thing to say, something deeper may be going on there. What's deep? What do you suspect is deeper that should be going on there? We're gonna let it keep going. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit for everybody that's just getting here so y'all can hear it.
What I'm really saying. Listen all the way through. Okay, before you tell me that I'm everything that is wrong with women these days, listen to what I'm really saying. Listen all the way through. So I a couple months ago, like, had lost my job, and I needed to borrow money from someone until I was able to pay them back. So I borrowed money from my man, right? At the time, my man at the time, and I kind of felt weird about that because he knew I really needed it and he never offered to give it to me. He waited until I asked, and then I basically had to beg because he was, asking all these questions. I don't usually give money out, this whole thing, and it already gave me the ick. Like literally when he said like I don't usually give money out, I was just like okay, and I was just not finna talk to him. Like I was gonna stop talking to him because after that it's like if I know you can help me, and if you don't want to, then we're having a little bit of a disconnect, and I'm gonna find a man who will. Like it's not that deep. I was gonna get mad. I was just gonna stop talking to him. But then he decided.
I just want to make sure everybody heard that. Okay. She said it's not that deep. I'll find a man that will, blah, 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 blah. Just based on him saying, I normally don't let people borrow money. Okay, let me continue on.
He was gonna give me the money, right? No, he wasn't gonna give it to me. He was gonna loan it to me. Whatever, cool. I said I would pay him back at the end of the month. The end of the month has come. I kind of.
She said, I said, okay. She said, I said I will pay him back at the end of the month. That's what she just said. I want to make sure. I want to make sure it's very, very clear. Okay. She said, I will pay you back at the end of the month. Hey, relationship gumbo.
I've been thinking about it. I have a lot of things I need to get done, and I'm still like really behind in bills because of the fact that I lost my job. So I'm trying to play catch up, and I finally got a little bit of money, right? So he texted me this morning, and he's like, "Oh, has your check still not cleared yet? I haven't received the money," which already is a sassy like way of asking for the.
So now you calling the man sassy, the man that bailed you out, the man that let you borrow the money, the man that made an exception for you because he normally doesn't. See, y'all don't be catching this little slick stuff, or y'all catch it and y'all trying to look past it because y'all be on the same type of slick stuff. So now he's sassy, but he wasn't sassy when you went and asked him for that money. He wasn't sassy when he gave you the money. Now that he's checking to see, like, hey, where's the money at? Because you're the person that said you were going to pay him back. Now you calling the man sassy.
There's also something in the way that she's explaining her situation, because, like, listening to it this time, it almost sounds like he met her already in this situation.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I felt the same way too, Pen, because she was like, that's fine if you won't give it to me. I'll find another man that will.
Right. And so it's almost like, okay, did you start dating him while you were already having these financial challenges? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
You said like she may have not had a job when they met. I don't know. She said she lost it. I don't know. She doesn't say she had a job when they was dating or not. Y'all heard what I heard, so I don't know. But just the fact that she calls this man sassy because he's like, "Hey, did your check not go through?" Like, basically, why haven't you sent me the money? Which again goes back to what I was saying. If you knew you weren't gonna have the money, why wouldn't you have called him before the end of the month? You know what I mean? And I would have been like, "Hey, I have it." But it would really be helpful to me because I'm still kind of behind on stuff. If maybe I can only give you half of it back or a third of it back, and then I could do the next half in a couple of weeks or the end of the month or whatever it is that she agrees on. The fact that y'all don't feel that she was not wrong, because so many of y'all are like, oh, it's him, he's stingy, he's not generous, run from that man, XYZ, elemental P, is wild to me. When she said she was the person that said she'd give it back at the end of the month. Like this is some wild stuff. Like, but again, y'all think how you think, do what you're gonna do, date how you gonna date, whatever. But I'm just keeping it a buck, baby. Like, this is all the way on some trifling ish. Okay, but whatever. Y'all feel how y'all feel.
Money back. But granted, he shouldn't have had to ask. I should have just sent it to him. So anyways, I sent him the money, but the problem is right now, like, I kind of have the ick and I don't want to talk to him anymore. Am I everything that's wrong with women these days? Like, because he did nothing wrong and he was actually very helpful. It was a lot of money and a lot of men wouldn't have.
She just said he did nothing wrong and it was a lot of money. That's what she said. She said he did nothing wrong and it was a lot of money. Wait, listen.
Even loaned it to me and he did, and I'm really grateful for that. And I think he's a great person. He's gonna make whoever he ends up with very happy. I just personally feel like he's not, like, I don't think that this is gonna work. Like, not that I was
So which is it? Is he still her man, or was he?
No,
Because
she said it was her man at the time. So she stopped talking to him. And then she asked us at the end, is she wrong? Okay, because she said she has the ick now because basically she had to pay this man back as if the man should not have the ick. And she said, y'all, she says it's a large amount of money. She says this
I
man
get,
did nothing wrong. She
I
she says this. She is just basically throwing a hissy fit because in her head, I think for whatever reason she was hoping he was not going to ask for that money back.
I get the impression that she had her job when they started dating, but she was already in financial straits when they started dating. I feel like whatever's going on with her finances was already going on before she started dating him, and he helped her out. She ended up losing her job for whatever reason. You know, that's what it feels like to me, based on what she said earlier.
I don't know if I would put that on there just because she didn't say that he had already helped her out prior to. She's like, I lost my
Well,
job, I got behind on my bills, and then I needed to borrow the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not sure if there was some prior help that he was given beforehand.
I feel like whatever her financial situation is, like whatever it be it money mismanagement or whatever the deal is, whatever that pattern is, I feel like that pattern was in place before
Oh
she
yeah,
started dating him.
absolutely, 100%. 100, 1,000%. I agree with you on that. You said it sounds like she didn't want to pay him back because she was dating him. That's exactly what it is. She didn't want to pay that man back because she was dating him. And
That's
let-
true. That's really all he
and
asked for.
let me tell y'all this. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear if let's say he would have been nice enough and he would not have paid her back. Let's just say he wouldn't have paid her back. She still would have dumped him.
Now I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Dang. You said that hey, my thoughts, you spoke them.
She said she still was going to dump him because literally it was going to be something else that she wanted financially. And because he wasn't going to pay for it, whether he had the ability to or not, she was still going to get rid of him. And she said that off rip, that not that big of a deal. You're not going to pay it. I go find somebody else that will. Right.
So
She
like,
definitely entitled to somebody else's
Yep.
finances.
so then were you just like, did you start dating him just to get your get your money straight? Like what?
Yep. Looking to see who she could get that paper from and then move on. Just you know how people do.
I'm gonna tell you this: there are a lot of girls out here in the streets. They definitely date guys, and within a week or two, are asking these men to pay like their phone bills, light bills, rent, and different stuff like that. They start talking about, oh, I'm having these financial struggles and these financial troubles, and blah 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 blah. And they'll be quick to be like, oh, if the man didn't do X Y Z element of P, he didn't like. You have no idea about that man's finances. And if I'm being honest, I would want to be with a man that's going to be financially responsible. Clearly, he's had to have some level of financial responsibility because he was able to come up with the money for you to borrow.
Right. And to your point earlier, that money could have been earmarked for something, for anything other
Okay.
than what she's asking for.
Right. Galactus said he dodged a bullet. He's better off without her. I think so too. But like then you call this man sassy. And a lot of times women will do that. A man may have not done anything wrong to you. Like we love like let me keep it a buck. We love talking about how there are so many abusive men out there. And I'm not saying that there aren't abusive men because there are, but there are also abusive women. And as a woman, if you don't want somebody calling you names, you don't want somebody little passive aggressive stuff, you don't want somebody making little side remarks about you, then why would you be doing that to somebody else? She literally says it was a significant amount of money. This man did nothing wrong. He let her borrow the money, and she acknowledges that a lot of men would not have let her borrow the money, but yet she still called the man sassy because he asked for his money back.
And the first red flag for me is when she was like, "Oh, we're not connecting right now. This is a disconnect." So you wasn't disconnected with him because y'all wasn't agreeing on marriage or y'all wasn't agreeing on other stuff. You disconnected from him because it had to do about money.
Pretty much. And see, if y'all come to my workshop on Saturday, I'll show you how to make your own money. So then you won't have to ask. then, then you're not gonna have to ask a man for money. Click the link in the bio. Tap the first link. Come to the workshop on Saturday, so I can show you how to launch something. Then you can make your own money, and you won't have to ask a man for the money. Hey, gotta plug. Let's see. He said he might be sassy, but he ain't broke. Facts. Okay, factual. You said that's what I'm talking about. You want to make your own. Really? Like, I mean, that's the other thing. Like, when I was going through, I didn't go through all of the comments underneath her post because there's like, y'all, this is like almost 2,000 comments underneath her post. But I did go through, like, honestly, probably the first 150, 160 trying to get a consensus. And there's probably only like 3 women that I saw that were like, I can see it from both sides, and if you borrowed it from them, you should have paid them back, blah 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 blah. But the majority of the other women were under there. They were like, dump him, dump him, dump him, dump him, dump him. He's not generous enough. Dump him. He's stingy. Dump him. Is he really stingy? Is he really not generous? If he get, because let's be honest, when he went into his wallet, or he went into his checking and savings account or money market or wherever he got the money from, under the mattress, I don't know where he got it from, but when he pulled that money out, he literally was taking a risk that she may not pay him back. And I'm sure that man thought about that, because men, you know what I mean, they see the world much more differently than women. So I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, for him, he's taking a risk, because it just sounds like, the whole thing. I normally don't let people borrow money, blah, 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 blah. It does not seem like she's out here dating a guy that's like a multimillionaire with money to spare.
Especially if you let somebody borrow money before and they like never returned it to you after that, you just kind of like, okay, I'm not letting nobody else borrow money from me. All right, my mama let me money one good time and I forgot. Oh yeah, I never did that again.
Okay, the range hobo. The range hobo says it was a lot of money and he was more than generous. Right. I feel like he was generous in letting her borrow it. And who knows, if she would have hit him up and connected with him fast, he may have said, well, baby, just run me back this much and you can keep the rest. That may have, you know what I'm saying? That may have been what he said. Because we're not gonna act like we haven't you said money to spare, or not, just don't do it. Right. Now that's me. Like that's me, baby. If I can't give it to you, I'm like, if I lent it, I'm not going to be in a financial hardship without it. But I am looking to see your character and the principle of the person. And so this is just very, very bizarre to me. Like, she literally was ready to write this man off because he didn't want to pay for her financial mismanagement. Chad, I seen your shady. I just seen somebody shady comment. I'm not gonna read it out loud, but stop that. I have not said anything about her parents. Y'all know, when y'all hear me talk, y'all rarely hear me say anything about anyone's appearance. Your body is your vehicle. Everybody has different bodies. Everybody has different faces. Everybody has different eyes and skin tones, and you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. It's not for me to tell you what you need to be doing, with your physical appearance. The same way it's not for somebody else to be telling me what I need to do with mine. Okay. Now, was your little comment funny? It was, but I'm not going to read it out loud. Thank you for my VR goggles. And to Car Beauty. Thank you.
Since we also opinionated today, I'm gonna need y'all to opinionate that screen and tap it. That's what I'm gonna need y'all to do, because I don't know why we ain't at 20K likes yet. I don't understand what the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and shout out to y'all in the hallway. I just need y'all to just tap the screen for a minute or two while Feminine get a little commercial break, and hydrate, because we want to make sure that she's good to go too. Just tap the screen for if you power tap, we'll be there in like 30 seconds. Because I know y'all don't want to hear me talk. I will talk though. We can talk about it. Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk. How your day going? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's go ahead and get to 20K, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate it. Like I said, this is some great content that we're talking about today. And unfortunately, this is what happens in the world. You
This
know what I'm
is what
saying?
happens. Like a lot of times people feel like they're settling and it's like you did not settle. You know what I'm saying? Like if just because you can't get, all of your preferences doesn't mean you settle. And I think a lot of people honestly don't know the difference between their standards and a preference. I don't think a lot of people know the difference between, a baseline metric, you know what I'm saying? And realistically excuse me, and realistically what it is to be with a good person, you know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times people are like, oh, this person, is settling, blah 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 blah, xyz element of p, and it's like nobody has settled. Okay, let's see, you said that's a good perspective. It's true. You can't be married to a doctor if you never dated one. What? Help me connect the dots. I'm sure you were saying something before that and I just don't understand what you meant by that.
Thank y'all for the 20K likes. See that? That only took like 2 seconds. Y'all, let's go ahead and get to 30K. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Help me understand what you meant by that. I mean, technically, you can marry somebody without dating because some people have arranged marriages. You said some people like to say they could marry a doctor when they never dated one. Oh, you saying like possibilities? I mean, that's true. I mean, technically, I could marry a kangaroo. You know what I'm saying? technically, I can marry a king. But a lot of times, if I'm being honest, a lot of women could be in very, very happy, loving, healthy relationships if we had realistic expectations and if we were reasonable. I'm not saying all women are unreasonable. I wouldn't dare say that. Okay. But a lot of women that are wanting to be in a relationship, that are wanting to have a spouse, that are wanting to have commitment, if I'm being honest, I do feel like this is unreasonable. And I already know from the comments, you know what I'm saying? I know from the polls, I know it's a lot of y'all that y'all feel like, oh, girl is 100% right and she is entitled and that she should have what she wants and that she needs to get rid of this guy and blah 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 blah. I notice how a lot of y'all feel. If she came and she told me, I would not tell her to stop talking to him. I would tell her to continue dating this guy. Because I would, because it's not right. This is a reasonable expectation for him to expect for her to repay that money after she in her story, she's the one that said that she told him that she would pay it back. I feel like that's a reasonable expectation. I feel like also you want to be a woman of your word. I would also try and point out to her that this man made an exception for you. He normally doesn't let people borrow money, but he let you borrow money. I also would ask her, why did you ask him? That's probably the first question that would have popped in my head. If I'm keeping it a buck, the very first thing that would have popped in my head would be like, well, why did you even ask him? Why didn't you ask, your parents or a friend or a cousin or somebody else? You said you can't pretend you can be a good woman overnight. It's upbringing. Um, well, I'm not saying she's a bad woman. I'm not saying she's a bad woman. She just asked was she wrong. That's what she asked. So, in a lot of y'all's opinion, y'all feel like she's absolutely right. Okay, y'all feel like she's entitled. Okay, here are what some of the comments say. Never stay with a stingy man. How is this man stingy, y'all? How is he stingy? He didn't charge her excessive interest. She didn't even say that he was hounding her for the money.
I don't know if you might have to play that video one time because I don't know if but you broke it down though, because he didn't at all, and she even said that he didn't do anything wrong. And the fact that he didn't let people borrow money, like we already discussed, I mean, she was the exception to the rule. She was shown favor.
Right. I'm just sitting here saying like a lot of women are like delusional and really dramatic. And someone else in the comments says it be the little things that prove somebody don't like you. 1,600 likes. So now this man doesn't like her because he was like, hey, like, when are you gonna start with your repayment? Alone is wild. Girl, run.
He's stingy because he should have gave her all of his paychecks in the near future. He should have gave her all the money, not just some of it.
Another
That's
girl
crazy.
says, Mom paid my rent without me asking. This guy is stingy. My friends don't ask for their money back. He gotta go. You're a user. You probably have a lot of friends that stop being friends with you. Um,
I was going to say a friend shouldn't have to ask for the money back. You should willingly give it back if you borrowed it.
it was literally the principle. I just don't like stingy people at all because I'm not.
I don't understand that. So he gave her the money. She doesn't one time say that he like jumped on her head about even giving her the money, right? He gave her the money. He only asked when it was time for her to repay him.
Exactly.
So how is that stingy?
Because his the reason why he's here on this earth is so he could go to work and make the money and just give it to her.
No.
Oh, people, and they do think like that too at the cart. That's crazy. Exactly. That's exactly how they thinking in the comments.
All right, here's a reasonable woman. She says it's hard to judge without knowing his financial situation. I feel even if it was a loan, he should have let you have it until you got on your new job at least. So I kind of feel you. And that's 188. Let's see. I think if he needed the money to pay something, I understand. But if he didn't need it, he could have said, "You can pay me back little bit by little bit." This is what I'm talking about. What women be doing wild stuff. That's not the first of all, exactly. You can't tell somebody how to get their money back. That's number one. So a lot of people be showing that they're users. Okay.
And you can't count their coins.
Right. And then number two, that's not what she agreed upon. She said, I'll pay it back in a month. She should have said, can I pay it back over 90 days? I give you a third this month, a third the next month, a third after that. She didn't even reach out to him to try and renegotiate because he probably would have did it. She was just like, no, he gives me the ick. I'm going to stop talking to him.
Child, that's all I'm going to say.
No stingy man for me. My ex put 8K engine in my car 6 months in. Now listen to this. When women say stuff like this, I just want y'all to think about this. All these women talking about my ex paid this, my ex paid that, my ex gave me XYZ elemental P this much money. And that man did that and he's still your ex. So do you think that that man is going to continue to operate in that way with women?
No, because lesson learned.
Bingo. 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 Every single one of them. They like, my ex did this, my ex did that, my ex, my ex, my ex, my ex. So I'm sure that the exes have probably learned a lesson that I should not be putting myself out like that. I should not be putting that much money in. I should not be getting myself caught in a bind. I should not be being financially irresponsible trying to help some heifer out because at the end of the day, this heifer does not care about me and what type of predicament or position I'm left in. So many, like, y'all, this is crazy. We got to stop this. Well, you ain't got to stop nothing. You keep doing whatever you want to do in life. I'm gonna just say this, okay? If you continue to do things that you want to do in life and you're not getting the outcome, hey, Lady Thompson, or the result that you're looking for, that may mean that it's time for you to stop operating that way. You said, I guess some exes feel like there's wife benefits only. It is wife benefits only. And I've told people this before. A lot of the men that I've dated that have wined me, dined me, tripped me, gifted me, jewelried me, land me, purchased homes for me, all kinds of stuff. Those men, like, it's like there was a progression. You know what I'm saying? Like the more serious we got, the longer we dated, the more elaborate, their gifts became. I don't think is wise for any man. I don't care how much money he makes whenever you guys are initially dating, just to be out here spending crazy amounts, of money or whatever, because as a man that has a lot of assets, he reserves the right to see, are you really into me for me, or are you really into me for the amenity of me? You see what I'm saying? Then like it's like, okay, you're in a serious relationship, like I remember one day I was sitting in the house paying bills. Corey was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm paying the bills." And he's like, "Oh, give me those. You don't do that anymore." But we were engaged. You see what I'm saying? Like we were engaged by then. This was not like I didn't come out the rip when we were dating and I was like, "Pay this, pay that." Before we got engaged, though, he did purchase 16 acres of land for me. That cost about $250,000 the week before because I wanted it, which I should have known right then at that point. Oh, this man wants me to be his wife. You know what I'm saying? The week before, I was in Miami. He was here. There was an auction up here. Da da da. It needed to be done. And I wanted the land, and he went and he bid on it, and he paid me. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I was like, I need your account so I can wire the money back to you. He said, you ain't got to pay me back. He said, not money anyway. And then he laughed. I was like, oh, I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know, how much bending I got to do to repay it, but okay, we here for it. But again,
That's
we
16 acres of bending, baby.
16, I'm still bending to this day. I'm still bending to this day. But long story long, prior to that, he never paid a bill for me. Okay, he didn't. I never asked him to pay a bill for me. It's just like as the relationship progressed, the gifts got larger and larger and larger. And any guy that I've ever dated that's had a significant amount of assets, when I date them, it starts off with just kind of like, regular dinner, date. Maybe we go dancing, movie, when we're on our outings, they take care of that. If they doing me right, sometimes I may be like, "Ooh," I be like, you fine and you've been consistent, you've been doing everything right. Let me take you out. You know what I'm saying? Or I may get them a little gift or something as a token of my appreciation. And then the gifts went from like dates to, what I'm saying, I got a little tennis bracelet, then I got a little diamond necklace, then it went from there to I remember I was looking for a new fur coat. I didn't even think he was listening to me. It was months before. He had planned the whole trip, you know what I mean? Where he researched where all of the celebrities and rappers going to get their furs from and stuff in New York. We had planned the whole trip. That's what we did for Valentine's Day. It was very romantic. I get so many compliments on that fox. That's the one y'all always see, like the big pretty silver fox. He purchased that for me. I was in there. It had a cute little earmuff thing. He was like, "You want that too?" I was like, "Yeah." He got it for me. We were in Central Park, carriage rides, having food, I'm saying, the whole shebang. But again, like that happened little over time. Then we start going on trips together. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he would pick up the trip. Sometimes I would take him on a trip. But like it wasn't a I never in my mind was like, well, if you won't give me money, if you won't give me gifts, if you won't pay this for me or that for me, I'm gonna find a man that will.
It was a mutual thing. That's dope.
Yeah, like I never, there's not, I'm just telling y'all my experiences. Again, everybody does what they want to do, but I'm gonna tell you this, even with my big back, okay, and my honey butter rolls and whatever else y'all want to say about me, I don't seem to be the person having the problem with getting men to commit to me. I don't seem to be the person that's having a problem getting men to date me. I don't seem to be the person that's having a problem getting men to take me out, getting men to have experiences with me, getting men to give me gifts. I don't seem to be the person that's struggling with that. But a lot of y'all is out here struggling with this in these streets.
And honey, let me tell you, them butter, they butter. Right, exactly. Really. They are buttered, okay? They slathered over.
I'm just saying, like some of the advice that y'all are taking, y'all have to look at, like the ladies that are giving you this advice. I went to women who are happily married, women that are well loved. I went to them and I got my advice from them. It's called seeking wise counsel. Okay. I went to them and was like, okay, what do I need to do? What needs to happen? How do I need to present myself? You understand what I'm saying? What's the level? What's the expectation? How do I really amplify my feminine, energy so that I can attract, what I'm saying? I can bring all the bees to the honey pot. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I did. I did not get on the internet listening to a bunch of heartbroken heifers that can't maintain a relationship telling me what I need to do. And this is a real life example. We talk about this all the time when I say that, your friends or your colleagues or your community in your echo chamber will give you absolutely positively terrible advice. They'll tell you what you want to hear. They will give you bad advice. They will cheerlead you off of a cliff. And if I'm being honest, I don't care how many women are underneath here in the comments talking about leave him, leave him, leave him, leave him. He's stingy. Like it, y'all, that's not logical. How is this man stingy? He gave her a significant amount of money. She says herself it was a lot of money. She let him borrow it, even though he's going against himself. I normally don't let people borrow money. He's putting up a risk because I'm gonna tell you this: if he would have let her borrow that money and he was on the internet talking about how she never paid him back, everybody would be telling him that he was a simp and he's stupid. Everybody would be like, you a simp, you know what I'm saying? You stupid. That's what these girls want these days. They're out here scheming, scamming. You and Noah like that. You should have made her sign a promissory note. So y'all will sit here and say underneath her comments that she needs to get rid of this. But then on the same leg, y'all turn around and be talking about this man is an idiot.
And I could agree to that. Listening to people in your circle, don't get me wrong. I love my grandma, but I don't take advice from her about my relationship for nothing. Because I'll be looking at her like, grandma, you done lost a good man, Savannah. My grandma will tell you she messed up with my grandfather. Now they are still the best of friends today, and he comes over often, and it looks like they married, but they not. And she'll tell you that was her fault. So when she tried to give me advice, I bet, shh, grandma.
Glam Pig said they need to think about it. If it was their son, Glam Pig, they gonna tell you that mamas like you are part of the reason that it's trash men out here. I'm not saying you wrong, Glam Pig. I'm just telling you what the people gonna say. I'm just telling you what they gonna say. He wasn't broke or stingy before this. She chose him and was happy. Men can have boundaries too. Exactly, babe. She said he's sassy. Her comment section said his comment section called him stingy and broke. Her comment section called him stingy and broke. She just said he's sassy. Which I don't feel like he's sassy. I feel like he did help her out. I feel like she was in a bind and he helped her with what he could. And ladies, this is something that you honestly have to keep in mind when you're selecting, the guy that you're going to commit to. You have to look at how stable is that man, right? And what resources does he have to help improve your life? Now, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I just don't think she handled it well. Like, if she would have been talking to me and I would be like, well, hey, you need to call him if you say you're going to pay him back at the end of the month. And I would say maybe, you can ask him, can you pay back half or can you pay back a third right now? And then you do, the rest of it, at the end of the next month. And he probably would have let her do it. But the fact that he had to reach out to her first and she already had the mindset and the attitude of, I'm going to stop talking with him anyway because I have the ick, because he didn't just give it to me, because he didn't just offer it up to help me. Like, it honestly, it was in a no-win situation. Glam Pig said, my son just proposed to his lady friend last weekend. Oh, congratulations. The older son just got married in January. They respect women in marriage. I'm told I've done a good job. Thanks. Great man. I'm proud. I love it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Hey, Voodoo Bae. Okay. You said, what do you say? Ladies should learn to support their man financially. Also, Prince, you think ladies should support their men financially? How so? How so? Because I'm not doing it. Now let me be clear. If we're married, we're together, we, at that time two shall become one. You see what I'm saying? And like we're probably gonna be deciding on whose income are we living out of and what income is going up, for like savings, retirements, investments, stuff like that. That's the ideal situation. But the reality is most people in the United States, now I don't know about all the other countries all over the world, but in the US, the cost of living is really high. And so for most people, it takes both incomes from both people so you can have a decent quality of life. And I'm not talking about some celebrity lifestyle. I know a lot of times men on the internet, y'all like to try and pretend like women just are out here chasing, Birkin bags and want to be on private jets. You have some girls that are into that, but most women don't want that. Most women are just looking for somebody. They want to live in a nice neighborhood that's safe. You know what I'm saying? They want to be able to make sure their children can get a decent education because the school district has proper funding. You know what I'm saying? Most girls will be happy to take 2 or 3 vacations a year. They happy to go to an all-inclusive, resort or on a cruise or something. Most of them, they want to make sure they have, normal stuff, a washer and a dryer. You know what I mean? Like that for especially if they live in the South. If they live up north, they may not be looking for that because living is there. They want to wash and a dryer. They want to be able to drive a car that's reliable, right? They don't want to be in a car that's going to be breaking down on them all the time, or always needing a head gasket or don't have heat, air, stuff like that, right? Most women are looking for a normal, comfortable quality of life. A lot of women that you talk to, they're not out here they're not out here looking to live in some mansion with, a cook and a maid and servants and stuff like that. That's really not what most women are looking for. And because when you look at inflation, right, the wage increase or wage inflation does not match the current like product inflation that we have going on. So for a lot of people, it is going to take two incomes, and it may be where the husband works full time and the wife works part time, right? That may be what's going on for most ladies. I think a lot of times online, men focus on the women that have the mindset of I don't want to do anything or contribute anything, but there's a lot of women they're down to work together with their husband. You said most ladies will have the money and pretend not to support. What you mean pretend not to support? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by pretending not to support? Like what is she supposed to be doing? Because okay, again, this is just me. This is me. This is just me. Okay? Everybody does what they want to do. And Prince, you can come on up and sound off if you want to talk about it. This is just for me at my big old age, okay? In my early 20s, I probably may have been a little bit more lenient because people getting established in their early 20s. I'm in my 30s. Okay. When you're dating a man that's 30, 40, I'm gonna say 25 up. I'm gonna keep it above 25 up. That man should have his own place. Okay. I don't care if it's an apartment, a condo, if he live in a duplex, if he purchased a house or whatever, but he should have the ability to be able to pay his own housing every single month. Okay. If you live in the South, he's probably going to need a car. Okay. You over on the East Coast, like up in New York and stuff like that, in a big city, public, it's different. Like there in DC with public transportation, some of the people got paid $50,000, $60,000 a year just for a parking space. So I get why a lot of people that live in the city, don't have a vehicle because, they have drivers, taxis, cabs, all of that. But other places in the United States, or you're in the rural and the burbs and stuff, you need a car. Doesn't necessarily have to be a new car, but he needs a car. He should have some type of job. He should be able to pay his light, water, rent, cable, whatever his regular monthly bills are. He should be able to buy himself some groceries. You see what I'm saying? It would be nice if he was doing enough to be able to put something into savings or some type of retirement vehicle or 401k or something like that. I feel like that's baseline metrics. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like as a man, if you are able to take care of yourself, like basic housing, basic living, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got no health insurance, you ain't got no car insurance, you ain't got no dental, no vision, you're not paying your rent, stuff like that. You don't need to be dating. You need to be focusing on becoming more stable. You need to be focused on adulting. And when you meet this woman, realistically, that one, like, that those housing expenses and stuff that you had before, it shouldn't really be a problem with her coming in. So that's why when I asked you, well, what exactly is the woman supposed to be financially contributing? Like as far as taking care of her man, what is she supposed to be financially contributing? Okay. I can see if y'all get together and then the woman is like, well, we need a bigger spot. You know what I'm saying? Especially if y'all like, we want to have children, then you may say, the man may say, okay, I can afford to do a $2,000 a month mortgage. And maybe she wants to live in a neighborhood where the mortgage is going to cost like 2,850 or 2,900. So then they may have the agreement. He puts the 2,000 down. Maybe he can bump up to 2,250 on the mortgage. She does the remaining 600 on the mortgage every month, and then she pays like the utilities and stuff. Everybody has a different relationship. But if he says, "Look, my cap is $2,000, and I know you like this neighborhood right here, but we're gonna have to go over here in order for me to be able to afford that mortgage, baby. If you don't want to pay no bills, you better shut up and you better get over there where the mortgage is $2,000 a month." It's that simple.
Shut it up. You better shut it up. Y'all better take the screen at 30,000. Thank you.
Yeah, this the lady that borrowed money and didn't want to give it back. This yeah, this and I know a lot of women don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I know they won't want to hear that, but that's normal for most people. You said these days they'll call him broke if he can't do the full 2,800 alone, and all the bills solo. Right, right. That's it. Like y'all, you'll see a lot of men. Y'all ain't noticed a lot of men that are husbands. They will have their car paid off. The new car in the household normally goes towards the wife. They'll keep her in a new car every 3 years, every 5 years, or whatever. She's in something nicer. They'll still be driving their old truck or their old Chevelle or whatever it was. They ain't got no car note. They just got to keep liability. I think sometimes this is why I said sometimes women are unreasonable right now in America, especially like if I'm a millennial, like inside of our age range and younger, like it's a lot. You said Q Whitney Houston on the slow, shut up, just shut up, shut up. Okay. Like this is what I talk about being reasonable. Sometimes you're unreasonable because you're listening to these think pieces and podcasts and people telling you how life is supposed to be when they're really discussing life for like the top like 3 to 7% of American earners. For most, not all women, but for a lot of women, you may have to work a part-time job and contribute to your household. You know what I'm saying? Not everything, but if you want to have, drapes and you want to have pictures on the wall, because that man's income may afford the mortgage, it affords your car note, it affords y'all health care and insurance. You know what I'm saying? It afforded the old furniture y'all already had from both of your places coming together. You want some new shit outside of that, you may have to get you a little part-time job or a little internet hustle so you can go ahead and add that. You may need to get your little part-time or a little internet hustle so you can take the income from that and y'all can have it to work towards investments. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I don't care how many girls on the internet want to call you Barbara the Builder. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't want to do any of that and he says, okay, I can afford a 1,500 square foot house in this particular neighborhood. It's not going to be a new construction. You know what I'm saying? The house got a little character. Ain't no wrong getting a house that's not custom built, or brand new. When I purchased the house I'm in right now, it wasn't brand new. He may say, we're going to move over here. This is more comfortable. And I know everything is going to be, fine. And, if we move into this house that's right here, like, okay, I'm going to get you a brand new car every 7 years. That may be the deal. That may be what it is because you're not kicking in anything financially, so that way you don't have to do that. And I don't feel that that's unreasonable. And I feel like if you want more than what that man's income can provide as he's working his way up the corporate ladder or whatever it is he's doing, then you may need to put a little seasoning on it. You said I heard a man say he wasn't thinking about a relationship or having relations until he got himself together. Sheree, that's how a lot of men think. There are a lot of men that think like that. They like, no, they're like, not until I get myself together. I'm not out here trying to be in a relationship. You said I'm not handy and neither is he. I need the house already done. A man should be able to contribute 90%, but ladies should also have their own support. Why do you keep saying that? Now, I agree that women should have their own income and they should be able to kick in and support because anything can happen in life. But I'm not going to say that that woman is obligated to a 10% because every household runs differently. Like there are people in here right now, they're in 50-50 relationships, but they're afraid to say it because they don't want people clowning them. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some relationships it's a 70-30 financially. Some of them it's an 80-20 financially. Some of them it's an 85-15. And then y'all, here's the real gag. The pendulum may shift. What if that man's job get bought out? What if he have a nervous breakdown? What if he on his way to work one day and have a heart attack and now he got to be in the hot? What if he lose sight in his eye? What if he got to have some emergency surgery? What if he got complications from taking the vaccine? And then all of a sudden now he can't work the way he used to be able to work, and you got to hold it down for the next 24 months. You gonna leave him because he's not paying all the bills right now?
I'm not afraid to say I'm in 50-50, but that's what I wanted, so we could both save and get this dream house that we want. That way he's not taking on everything by himself. I don't care if people clown me.
Girl, I'm not gonna clown you because realistically it takes two for most people. You know what I'm saying? And people don't think about that. Stuff happens all the time in life that you don't plan on. Life happens. That's a real thing. And it may be where you as a woman, you may be making more money right now, and then in 5 years he's making more money. Like stuff just happens. But um that's one of the reasons that I'm a proponent of women having a career and keeping their skill sets up. Like not even necessarily thinking like this man is going to leave you and trade you in for a younger model, not on that type of tip, but just literally you guys may be happy in love. He may be loyal, faithful, never disrespect you, good leadership, kind to you, and then anything like the cares of life is what the old people call it, could pop up at any given moment. And if you are a woman and you don't have any skills, you know what I'm saying, that are marketable, you don't have a way to generate income, all of y'all about to be over here living in a cardboard box unless you can go back to your mama and daddy house and crash with them. And I do see that happen sometimes, that women will get married to men that are like the ultimate provider type men, and they don't practice in their degree, they don't keep up any skills, they don't have like a side hustle, and then all of a sudden that man gets sick. You know what I'm saying? It's not him leaving. Like it could be like he'll get sick, he'll get injured on the job, all sorts of types of stuff. And then all of a sudden it's calamity.
Yep, that's what happened over here. He was out of work for a few weeks and I had to take it over, but I had it.
Yeah.
Because I used my skills, I used my businesses, and I had it. So he ain't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. You said, do women ever come to you after these discussions and say that you made them see things in a different or a better way? Sometimes that does happen. One and only Jay, women will come and they'll say, I never really thought about it like that. Y'all know I'm a realist, you know what I'm saying? And I want people to be happy and have what they want. And what I see happening right now in our community, which is really scary to me, I see that there are people that don't know the difference between standards and preferences. And a lot of people are trying to make their preferences their standards. And so they're missing out on people that will really, really make them happy, that I promise they will be so happy together. The other thing that I see that's very alarming is that people do not have good discernment. They don't know how to differentiate, between like behaviors or characteristics of different people. So like, for instance, they could be everybody, they'll say something like everybody that has red hair is a danger to women. You'll be like, what? And they'll be like, well, I dated this guy with red hair, such and such and such. So now they got it out for all red hair people, and it's like, no, like there were other characteristics outside of the red hair that made this person a danger to women. And if he would have been blonde or brunette or auburn, he still would have been a danger. You see what I'm saying? So those are probably the two biggest things of people not being able to get past their past hurts, and they start generalizing everybody with the same paintbrush. B Marquita said, yep, my mindset just changed just now today. Yeah, I just like a lot of people, if they would be more realistic, they would be so happy. You gotta, and A lot of the stuff that people are preaching online, a lot of stuff that people are saying, they don't meet their own standards. They don't qualify. It's not like that for them in their lives. I see that all the time. I see that constantly.
Hey, Feminine, can you give an example of like the difference between, like what you said a while ago? They don't know the difference. Are they confusing the two between the standard and the other thing you said?
A preference? Yeah.
Yeah.
So easy one. A height would be preference. Height. And I'm not saying date somebody you're not attracted to. That's not what I'm saying at all. Okay. Like we need to have physical attraction. That's number one. But let's say we meet a guy, all things equal, as far as kindness, faithfulness, roof over his head, good income, great job security. He doesn't have a string of baby mamas. As a fact, these men don't have children at all. They have homes, they're investing in their portfolio, they have cars, they're funny, y'all have great conversation, they're both consistent, they'll take you out on dates, okay? And one of them happens to be 5'8" and the other one happens to be 6'2". Right? A lot of women are going to prefer the taller guy, okay? But then let's go back to the same situation and all things aren't equal. And the guy that's 5'8" still has all of those great characteristics. And the guy that's 6'2" is a liar and he cheats on you often. And he's a liar, he cheats on you, and he has a real ratchet baby mama. A lot of girls would pass up the 5'8" guy. Thank you, Thea. And they say, oh, it's just nobody to date out here. There aren't a lot of options. It's like, no, that was your man right there. Like the dude is 5'8". He meet all of the standards and a lot of your preferences. He checked that box off. He hit them baseline metrics. You know what I'm saying? Your non-negotiables. He cleared the box on all of them. He's handsome and everything, but because he's not 6'2", you're gonna be like, oh, nobody's out here. You see what I'm saying? And then they'll be like, I'm not going to settle. It's not settling when you meet somebody that covers all of your non-negotiables and all of the baseline metrics. And he covers all of your standards. That's not settling. Okay. Like, and so a lot of times women will feel like if they can't get every preference met, that they're settling, and they're not. And so because of that, they'll pass up on really good relationships. You said they still going for the height. They be going for the height. They'll not date men because of the type of car you drive. You said I'm 5'1", so 5'8" would be fine for me. Facts. You said there's no financial scales in a relationship. All y'all got to do is work hard and support each other. It seems every woman going after the same type of man: tall, dark, handsome, wealthy. Right, but it's a lot of girls, like they'll pass up a guy and they'll be like, because I'm like, oh, because he didn't meet a preference. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes some of your preferences you may have to evaluate. Like, I don't know, y'all know I'm team FDK, big time. Always been team FDK, okay? But there was a guy that I dated, and he was a single father, and he had full custody of his son, and he was the most amazing father. And it was a lot of he every non-negotiable baseline metric knocked it out of the park, okay? And he was handsome, and he dressed well, and he was funny, blah 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 blah. A lot of stuff, really really great guy. The only thing that we didn't match on, and I knew we wouldn't be able to have a long-term relationship, and this was a non-negotiable for me. I just said he hit all the non-negotiables. I lied. It's one that he didn't hit. His relationship was so traumatic with the mother of his child. And baby, she was a piece of work. Let me tell you, okay? And this is the thing. He never told me she was a piece of work. He never talked down about her, never called that woman out of his name. But I was able to see, just from seeing what was going on, baby. She was something else, okay? He was like, I don't want any more children. Thank you, Thea. And I knew I wanted kids. So therefore, we weren't going to be, you know what I'm saying? You can't make somebody want children. You're slow. What does FDK mean? It means F them kids. It means F them kids. That's what that means. Thank you for my virtual sunglasses, Thea. So for that, there wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But even though my preference was a man with no children, you know what I'm saying? In that instance, I wouldn't have felt like I was settling at all. I wouldn't have felt like I was settling at all. If he was like, I want children, more children, I would be like, oh, like let's do it. Okay, me and him would have been together. I was dating him years before I met Corey, right? But like that right there, that's the example of like a preference over a standard, right? My preference was to be with a man that did not already have children, right? But my standards came down to the stability, the fairness, your ability to be faithful, you know, a man that has a level of kindness and tenderness towards me, right? A guy that we both are like on a spiritual plane, like we both had the same belief in God, you know, stuff like when I went through my baseline metrics on all of that stuff, when I say marked all of it off. A preference, him being able to dress well, that's not a baseline metric for me. A lot of men can't dress. Now, this dude, though, baby, when I say he could put that ish on, he could put that ish on, okay? Baby, clean, fly, okay? He looked good all the time. You understand? When I say he could put it on, he could put it on, all right? But for me, like I've literally, they did this survey. I gotta find it. It's an experiment, and they send women out on blind dates with guys that are everything that they say they want, except for the guy. Not facially, the guy's handsome, but he dressed, you know, like wasn't that great. There were so many women that were like, they would not go out on a second date with this guy because they were like, oh, he had on brown shoes and a black belt, or I didn't like the way his shirt was, or his style is a little dated, blah, 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 blah. Do y'all know how many men will easily let you dress them like a Ken doll that do not care? And that's what I mean. That's what I mean with women. Like, is unreasonable sometimes. Like this guy, his style, that's a preference. That's not necessarily a standard. You said yes, swag level will get him disqualified instantly. It will. It will. If they don't like the jewelry, or they don't like his lineup, or whatever, they're like, ah, no, no, no. You said I threw all my man's cargo shorts out the door. Throw them away, girl. I don't know, them cargo shorts be handy with the pockets on it. You said blue collar, me too, because they be lit as well. Yep. It's a lot of women, they'll pass up on a man because he has blue collar. They don't feel like his job title is as prestigious enough. So for me, again, my standard is you being financially stable and you having, you know, like stable work history, because some men don't. Every 90 days they somewhere else. Okay, that's scary to me. That's terrifying. But a guy that's stable, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're a welder, a painter, a carpenter, a CEO, a business owner, a plumber. I don't care if you do tech, if you're into stocks, if you do insurance and investments, or if you out here, you know, washing cars or got a lawn care service. I don't care. You know that I don't care. So did I have a preference as far as like a position? My preference was a guy that was gonna have a flexible schedule, because I know my schedule is, you know, so he needed to be able to have the flexibility that we could travel and go and do things together. That right? But that wasn't a standard. You said my wife is a fashion consultant. Oh, she got you looking great all the time. She makes you look great. I bet she does. Have y'all seen that YouTube where they pop the balloon? Girl, I hate them pop balloon things. I've seen them. It's so degrading to me. A person comes out in the front row, the opposite sex. Yep, they start popping before them people even open up their mouths. And I think that's really silly. I think that's silly. It's a lot of women that are out here saying they can't find anybody, and I'm like, yo, somebody was probably there, but he wasn't swagged up the way you wanted him to be swagged up, and so you never gave the man a conversation. You never actually got to chat with him to see what he was about. And men do the same thing too. Men will be on the internet complaining about how all these women is 304s and scandalous, and they only want them for money and this and this and this and that. And I know so many women that they are not, they are focused on who that man is in the inside. They're looking for a man with character and integrity. They are looking for a man, you know what I'm saying? Like they're looking for a man that's, again, going to meet their standards, their baseline metrics, but they not out here, you know what I'm saying? They're out here getting passed over. They get passed over on a regular basis because they don't look like the fast cars all the time. So the same way men will sit there and tell women, you know, that they need to chat a guy up and give him an opportunity and try and get to know more about him. some of these men need to do the same thing, because it may be the girl that's out there with a turtleneck and her pearls on. It could be the girl that has the green hair. You know what I'm saying? The green hair and the military boots. It might be her. She might be the one for you. You know what I'm saying? Like real life.
With the green hair and the boots, okay.
Yeah, you the green hair and the boots. Yeah, that's what I'm. But it's a lot. But it's a lot of guys. They'll see a girl with colorful hair, and they automatically assume that that means that that girl is loose. It's a lot of men. They think that they see a girl with colorful hair, they be like, "Oh, she going." That girl ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody been in her panties. You know what I'm saying? But because she doesn't have the aesthetic, you know what I'm saying? Maybe like not a clean girl aesthetic or the IG baddie aesthetic, you know what I'm saying? They'll pass her right on over. And I'm like, that's the woman that probably could have made you the happiest, in life, with her blue hair, green hair, pink hair, you know what I'm saying? Rainbow bright hair, whatever. And then the girl that's over there, with her turtleneck and her pearls on, looking like she reads the Bible every day. It could be the biggest hoe that ever stepped in a pair of shoes, and she finna take it down through there. You said sometimes people discuss no kids, but later one was around kids and changed their mind. Now the relationship turns left and does not work out, especially if people don't want kids. It's out of fear. I mean, I heard that from a lot of people, but I wasn't going to. Somebody tell me they don't want kids, they don't want kids. I'm not going to sit here and continue to waste my time or be with you hoping that you may change your mind about that. You said no not rainbow bright. I'm just saying, like it happens all the time. I literally hear men on, specifically on TikTok every day, just whining and complaining about women and talking about how bad they all are. And I'm like, now why are y'all having such a hard time meeting these good women? Because I know good women that meet these little qualifications they got everywhere. I see them all the time. Okay. They're not out here, like super made up. They have natural hair, natural nails, good bodies. You know what I'm saying? They smell good. They faithful. They loyal. They go to work every day. Baby, they idea of a good time is going to the bookstore and home goods. You understand what I'm saying? They not out here trying to throw it in a circle. They not walking around with their booty cheeks out and stuff. So I'm saying that because a lot of these men like, we want a woman that dresses modest. It's a lot of them out here. Y'all just ignore them. Because y'all like to be with the hoochie coochie everything. Always. I wasted years with a man who didn't want kids. Right. I just feel like that's dangerous. I feel like if you get with a man or a woman and that man and woman say they don't want kids and you do want kids, baby, move around. It don't matter how great they are. If they change their mind later, good for them. But in the meantime, you don't wait on that. That's what I be talking about. Like when you get to non-negotiables, it's stuff like that. Um, I don't like maybe y'all spiritual beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you gonna have to convert to be with this person and you don't want to convert? D, thank you for my VR goggles. You said yeah, they know when they what they don't act like they're outside. Social media makes them feel important. Facts. Facts. That's a real thing, y'all. That's a real thing. But anyway, who got final words? I'm finna get on down, baby, because I'd have talked enough. Okay. But y'all be out here throwing away decent relationships and decent people for nothing.
I hope you guys got took a lot of keynotes because I sure did. Hey, we're not perfect. And sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And hopefully the feminine said something today that, again,